Good evening, everyone. When we think about entrepreneurs in America in the late 1800s, we usually picture railroad barons and steel magnates. But tonight I want to tell you about a different kind of businessman. One who turned America's favorite pastime into serious profits. This is a story of Charles Comiskey and how his journey from player to team owner reflects the massive economic happenings across America between 1865 and 1900. The years after the Civil War brought incredible change to how Americans worked and made their money. The country was shifting from small farms and local businesses to big factories and nationwide businesses. This transformation didn't just happen in steel mills and on railroad tracks. It happened on baseball diamonds too. Charles Comiskey understood this better than most. Born in 1859 in Chicago, he started as a player in the 1880s, and he quickly realized that the real money wasn't in playing the game, it was in owning it. Let me share what Comiskey said himself about the business opportunities in 1891 interview with the Chicago Tribune. He said to them, "Baseball has moved beyond mere sport. It has become a national business venture and can generate substantial returns for those who understand the commercial possibilities." In a quote from the Tribune's sports section, they were tracking how former players were becoming team owners and making real fortunes doing it. Comiskey's past shows us how the Postbellum economy created new opportunities in 1883. He was making about $2,000 a year as a player. Good money, but not enough to build wealth. But by 1890, he'd saved enough to buy the stake in the Cincinnati Reds stock. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Comiskey didn't just buy the team. He bought into an entire entertainment industry that was exploding across America. Cities were growing fast after the war, and all these new urban workers had money to spend and time to fill. According to the Cincinnati Commercial Gazette, in 1890, Comiskey's Red Stockings drew over 150,000 fans that season, with tickets ranging from 25 cents to 50 cents. Compare that to today. That's serious revenue, especially when you consider that the average factory worker was making a $10 a week salary. Comiskey's success reflects three major changes happening in the postbellum America. First, urbanization. Cities were growing incredibly fast as people were leaving farms for factory jobs. These urban populations created new markets for entertainment and simply didn't exist before the war. Second, the rise of what historians call consumer culture. Americans were learning to spend money on experiences, not just necessities. Baseball games became the first mass entertainment product sold to working Americans. Third, transportation improvements. Railroads didn't just move goods, they moved baseball teams. Comiskey could schedule games across multiple cities, creating regional and eventually national markets for his product. The numbers tell us a story. According to Spalding's official baseball guide from 1895, professional baseball generated over $3 million in revenue a year across all teams. To put that in perspective, that's about $100 million in today's money. But here's what's really important. This money didn't stay with team owners. It flowed into local economies, hotels, restaurants, streetcars. Companies, they all benefited from baseball. They all benefited when baseball came to town. One Chicago newspaper calculated what each home generated, that each home generated about $5,000 in local business activity. Comiskey's story illustrates how individual entrepreneurs drove the broader economic transformation of postbellum America. Like Andrew Carnegie in steel and John D. Rockefeller in oil, Comiskey took a traditional activity, in this case playing games, and turned it into a modern business enterprise. This reflects what historians call the Second Industrial Revolution, when America moved beyond making things and creating entirely new industries around services and entertainment. The same economic forces that created department stores and vaudeville theaters also created professional sports as a business. Most importantly, Comiskey's success shows how the new economy created opportunities for people who couldn't afford to build railroads or steel mills. With relatively modest capital, smart entrepreneurs could tap into America's growing appetite for leisure entertainment. By 1900, Charles Comiskey owned the Chicago White Sox and was worth over $500,000, a fortune built from understanding how America's economy was changing. His story reminds us that the postbellum economic transformation wasn't just about big corporations and famous industries. It was about entrepreneurs at every level recognizing new opportunities and building businesses around them. Baseball became America's pastime, but for men like Comiskey, it was also America's path to prosperity. Thank you. Have a good night.